Hey guys! In this video, we're going to talk about the first steps of creating an array. So we have already looked at the difference between a worksheet and array. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and watch that one now. So this is just, any random worksheet that I have found. It's a fairly short one, so it shouldn't take us too long. And this is generally what you're going to see, right? It's going to be something like this. Most of the time, the things that you're going to see are going to be relatively unformatted. This one actually has like the title in bold and Times New Roman and 16, which is sort of our standard format. But even that is not terribly common. So do make sure that the title is appropriately formatted. And then I also just usually when I start working with these things, I'm going to change everything to Times New Roman size 12, although the font, the title is size 16. And then I'm going to go here and fix all of the line spacing options so that it's just 0. That's not what I want. 0. And single spacing. So 0 before, 0 after, and then single spacing there. The reason I do this is just because if you don't, the spacing just gets real annoying and like bizarre a lot of times. So I just like to add the spacing in afterwards by hitting enter a few times. So what I'm going to do usually when I sit down to create an array file is first just make the worksheet prettified and fancy. So obviously this is the title of the worksheet. We're going to want to have question numbers for all the questions. And we want all of the question numbers to be bold so that they stand out from the rest of the question. For text questions, that's really not so much of a big of a deal, but for obviously numerical questions, it's going to be a little bit more important. And so we just keep it as a standard convention all the time. I also generally like to add, that's not what I wanted, page numbers. So if I go to, yeah, there we go, header. No, I want page number. Top of page, top right. And there we go. We've got a page number, except I can already tell that that is the wrong font because Word is addicted to Calibri. So I'm going to change that also into Times New Roman 12. I'm just going to hit save because I am a compulsive saver. And then so from here we're going to say, so this is the worksheet. This is the thing that the students will have a PDF copy of, sometimes a Word copy of. And so we want to make sure that there's enough space where if they wanted to print it out, they could write some answers on here and then, take a picture and send it to us. So, yeah, some reasonable amount of space. Realistically, all of these can probably be evenly spaced here. And then that's basically fine, right? Sometimes the worksheets will have this at the bottom, sometimes they won't. It's not really especially relevant. If it's there, you can leave it. And then the other thing that I noticed, so this is sort of a bizarre thing here, but we're looking to find the surface area formula for a prism, and this says surface area of a rectangle. So whoever wrote this was just maybe writing it too fast. So I'm going to change this to rectangular prism, and that actually does fit all the way across, so that's super fancy. So we're going to save one last time. So this is pretty much done, right? This is good. You could send this back to me and I would be super happy with it. So there's the Word document format of it. The second step that I usually do is I'm just going to copy and paste this all into a brand new document, and I'm going to go ahead and save this one. So File, Save As. I'm going to put it in Algebra as well. And I want to save it with the exact same name. Scroll. There we go. Except I'm going to add at the end, array file. And at the beginning, I'm going to add an A. So A is for array file. That's just sort of our, notation that we use. And it's important that they have both the same exact name, right? So that's going to be really key. At this point, I'm actually done with this one, but I am going to still keep it open just because I want to make sure later on that all of the numbers match up exactly. This is much more important when there are a lot more questions. In this case, there are only 5, but let's get started. So over here in the array file, we do not need question numbers, and we also do not want any footer. So there we are, done with that. And then I'm going to make it all size 12 because the size will not translate into the VMH. And the way that we're going to start this is with VAR, When you hit space, it's going to capitalize it. You got to make sure that it does not capitalize it. So I'm going to hit undo over there. So we have VAR lowercase, all lowercase. This one is A13, and we're going to say equals, and then we're going to start our array with this open bracket and a quotation mark. And then what I'm going to do is I have to put, so the first item in every element of the array has to be the question number. So we're going to put in here, and I'm going to make this bold so it shows up bold in Slack later when the students see it. I'm going to put these asterisks, but also in this file I'm going to make it bold just so that we can kind of see what the formatting is doing. When it gets translated into the VMH, the word formatting is not going to be maintained, but we're just going to put it this way just for ease of reading. So in bold I'm going to put asterisk A13.1 colon, the colon is 100% necessary. Without that colon, it will not work. And then I'm going to put that closing asterisk. And then I'm going to bring up the title of the worksheet. I'm also going to put asterisks around this. I don't put them together just because a lot of the things get sort of formatted differently and so, like into different places. So every individual thing that gets bolded, I usually put individual asterisks around it. So we've got that. And then inside of the array, the way that we make sort of like an enter or a space, right, is we're going to use this little character. It is underneath the tilde to the left of the 1 on your keyboard, and in this case I'm actually going to put 2, so it would be enter. And then I'm going to bring up the first question. So there's the text of the first question. I'm going to go down to the end of the thing, and in bold, I'm going to put asterisk alert, colon, asterisk again. We're going to go unbold. And how do you find the area of the rectangle? A equals LW. That's the answer to this question, right? So there we go. We've got the first question, the first answer. We're going to hit enter. We're going to do this because, inside of this file, we do need to separate each element of the array. It's going to, come out differently later. You don't have to worry about that part. But at least for now, this is our easy way of separating everything out. All right. A13.2, colon, inside of asterisks. And we're going to bring up the next question. How do you find the area of 2 different rectangles combined? I'm going to go to the end. Alert. Here's my answer. You add the 2 individual areas. Okay, something to that effect, totally fine. Enter. I'm going to do my next question, A13.3. So we're just going to fly through these. How do you find the area of 4 rectangles combined? Alert. Sorry. There, you add them all up, whatever. Then A13.4. And how many rectangles does a rectangular prism have? 6? Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, good. And A13.5. So, last question. How do you find the surface area of a rectangular prism? Alert. Find the area of each of the 6 rectangles, and then add. So that's the basic idea. We all also know that the opposing ends of the rectangular prism are going to be identical, so you can just find 3 of them, multiply by 2, and add them all together, all that. But this is sort of just like a basic concept here. So now what am I going to do? At the very end, now I'm going to say, end of worksheet, period. And I'm going to close this out with another quote and that end bracket. This is my completed array. The key things are this starting information is super important. VAR has to be lowercase. A13, A should be capitalized. The equal sign must be there. It has to be there. The equal sign is very important. It has to be there. We're going to start it with a bracket. We're going to end it with a bracket way down here. We're always going to have something that says, this is the end of the worksheet, or, do you want to keep working on math? Do you want to switch to reading? Whatever it says at the end. It cannot have, so this particular last line cannot have a question number associated with it. So this should not be A13.6. You notice it just does not have anything at all. So that one's by itself. It's just the way that the program works. And then we're going to make sure that there's a colon on every single question. We're going to add our alerts in. We make sure that all of the alerts have colons. And then we make sure that there's asterisks to make the question numbers bold. And then also the word alert is bold. And quite finally, the title of the worksheet is bold. So just a couple of things here, really basically introducing you to this concept. You're going to practice this a lot, but this is the start of it. Let us know if you have any questions.